We are live with Luke and Susie on our Facebook page, in our Facebook community, and on YouTube. If you want to get involved in the conversations we're about to have, make sure you add your comments to the chat section and they'll come through to us live as we go throughout the show. Susie, today we are going to deal with some big topics. But before we get to any of our discourse conversations,
Yes.
there may have just been a little moment that we just had just before this started.
Yeah. You're not offended though, are you?
No, of course not.
Don't be offended.
Just starting.
This is what happens when you work in radio.
Just starting to tear up just a little bit, Suze. We're going to get to this in just a moment. The Luke and Susie quotable in just moments, and it's talking about insanity.
It's Luke and Susie with Faith Family Culture.
Luke and Susie with you. We're broadcasting from Greece.
What's the wise words of someone from yesteryear? Well, while everyone's tuning in online on YouTube and the Facebook community and the Facebook page, make sure you leave your chats in the comment field and it will come straight through to us. And a big shout out to those who are already tuned in. Now, Suze, we often have moments where we meet people for the first time, but it hasn't been as often where we get to do this in person. So because of COVID, stupid COVID.
That's right.
So we're meeting people for the first time online often.
We are.
And these days, it's less common that someone has never seen us because, there's pictures and there's images and social media and everything. We've just recently come across someone who's seen an image of me for the first time, met me online, and hadn't seen a photo of me.
I hadn't seen you before online. Her name's Stella. And we were having a little bit of a chat before, and turns out, Luke, you're not quite what she was expecting.
She said, you're not how I pictured you. And I thought, I always enjoy that. Well, how did you picture me?
Expecting an answer to be, I thought
taller
maybe
or less
blonde
facial hair or whatever. She said, you're not at all like I imagined. I said, how do you imagine me? She said, well, I imagine you very handsome. I'm like, hang on a second, that's contrast. You just said I'm not like what you thought I was. And you thought I was handsome. So what was your disappointment levels like? It's so funny, isn't it? When we build up an image of someone in our head.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing that we go through when we read a book. And we picture the characters and then they make a movie and they cast an actor and we go,
wrong.
Oh no.
Almost always wrong.
It's like a book I read where the character dead set was a la Denzel to me, and they cast Morgan Freeman. And I love Morgan Freeman, but he's not Denzel. Like they're completely different kind of characters.
Completely different characters.
And I was so crushed that Morgan Freeman, one of my favorite actors, was this character because he didn't fit the young and fit mold and the attitude. He was quite different. So, Suze, I have to remind myself that to Stella, it may not be that I'm bad. I'm just the Morgan Freeman instead of Denzel.
Well, Caroline supports you and says, you are handsome, Luke.
Thanks, Caroline. I appreciate you very much. We're going to get into our conversations in our Luke and Susie discourse.
Luke and Susie want to talk about what matters to you. To share your thoughts or suggest your topics to be discussed, the Luke and Susie discourse.
All right, our first topic, Suze, is a question that has been posed about the best thing that your father or your father figure has taught you. And of course, we've got a song that we were featuring in the show, and in this is this concept of, as a dad, we feel like our role is to, what are we going to teach our kids and prepare them for life? And not everyone has a good dad that's turned up and has done this, but that's why we've stipulated father figure, this parent role. Suze, your dad, I know that you love him and that you've got a real bond with him.
I do.
What's the best thing that he's taught you?
You know what? I was thinking it through, and there's a lot of things. The first thing that came to mind when I thought about what my dad taught me was bravery. He taught me to be brave. But I think in reality, in practice, Dad always got us involved in doing the hammering and when he was fixing things. So I feel like the handyman skills that I got have been really invaluable in life.
Yep.
And so I would say that.
Handyman skills.
Handyman skills.
Well, now I know that that's what you value most. I can put you to work a bit more. 18 years and we learned something new.
What about you? What did your dad teach you?
Dad taught me so much. We were so different in so many different ways. But when I think about the things that he taught me that I connected with, that has applied to my life, and we've got a love of cricket, we've got a love of sport. He didn't teach me how to get upset with the Australian cricket team. I tended to be a little bit more patient than Dad was.
Right.
He would mumble, flopping Aussies, flopping useless, do this flopping all the time.
Yeah.
But the thing that he has taught me that just became a part of who I am is work ethic, hard work, and about, just doing your best at something and just, pouring heart and soul into it. Dad wasn't as a outwardly passionate guy as I am, but man, did he work and did try and do a good job. And I didn't realize that I had taken after Dad in so many things until eventually, when we were exploring these different aspects of integrity and hard work. And there was a whole bunch of list of things where I went, Dad and I have that connection. This is what he taught me. Even though he never sat down and said, this is what you need to do, he just modeled it and instilled it in me, which I thought was a really, really valuable thing.
That's a hugely valuable lesson. I love that. So we're asking today, what is the best thing your father or father figure taught you?
Let's go to Stella. Stella, best thing your father figure taught you?
We had to move states every 3 years with my dad's job. So he taught us how to connect with others, how to make new friends. So I think that has stayed with me for a long time. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a great life skill. That will never lead you down the wrong path if you know how to connect with people.
Yeah. Do you know what else my dad taught me? How to scrape every last bit out of a Vegemite jar. Waste nothing. Get it all out.
Also a valuable skill.
Valuable skill. Saved me a lot of Vegemite over the years.
Sammy, you've got some thoughts from people of what it is that their father has taught them along the way?
Absolutely. So Sonette had said humbleness. Just to appreciate what you have because there is always someone worse off than you. I thought that was beautiful.
That is beautiful.
And this question actually prompted Tim to think what he has to teach others because he said that his dad taught him how to tie knots and mow the lawn. And I should probably teach my son the same.
At some point. Yeah.
Tim, no pressure, Tim, this time.
And Jessica as well said, my dad's taught me many things, how to drive, how to play chess, random bits of German.
Oh, can't pick one thing. Okay, let's then get to, have we got Hugh? Hugh,
Yes.
what's the one thing the best thing that your father or father figure taught you?
Oh, look, I was pretty impressed with what Sammy said about knots. My dad was a great knot tire. But I think he actually taught me about loving community and engaging in community and, just encouraging people that are new to our country into our country.
Yeah,
That's
very cool.
Fantastic. That's beautiful. I love the character of that kind of, and it was the same with Stella as well, that character of valuing people in your world and finding a way to be inclusive and caring and kind to them. That's wonderful, Hugh. Thank you for sharing that with us.
Jess has also said on the comments fishing, and I love fishing. Caroline says, my dad taught me to listen to my instincts and to stick up for myself. And it's I assume on the back of the fishing, Caroline said, well, my dad tried to as well, but I got so bored, which I fear is what I'm doing to my children by not catching any fish. Just maybe bringing some boredom in.
That's right. Dave said, my dad taught me how to melt metal and make things
Ooh.
in a sandbox.
Very nice.
Very cool.
So I'm assuming that's a mechanism for metal work, the sandbox, because it's also a tech term for your practice area. So if you have a sandbox, you have like your software, but you have a pretend version of the software. So you play with it in the sandbox rather than actually messing up your original main database. Anyway, sorry, I've just got distracted by tech talk.
That's okay. That's something that you taught me.
There is so much in bringing the show together. It's all thanks to our sponsors of the program. So we want to just acknowledge them right now. So much to explore, so much to experience, and so much Australia.
You can rediscover our great country and all of its beautiful secrets and majestic surprises and head off-road with a Blue Water Camper trailer from program sponsor Blue Water Campers.
Perfect way to enjoy Australia during a lockdown where you can't travel too far. A quality Blue Water camper makes any adventure possible and absolutely perfectly every journey enjoyable.
So take a look at the range at Blue Water Campers today and chat to the team about all the options that are available to you. You can check them out online at bluewatercampers.com.au.
So we're going to get into the conversation about reading a book. And so, Suze, you and I are sporadic readers. Like I wouldn't say that we are consistent, always have a book that we are actively reading. We always have a book that we have started and made
multiple.
So we can say we are reading these books right now, but it's
Yes.
not necessarily an everyday thing. But Semi, our producer, Semi, you strike me as a reader that you read all the time.
Yes, but I read one book and I'll actually finish it. At the moment, it's like a series. I'm trying to get all the books in order of that series.
Yeah, that sounded like a jibe, Suze. Like I actually finish it, Luke and Susie. Like I start it and then I finish what I start. Sounded like a bit of attitude.
I didn't feel like it was attitude. I think she was just telling us how she reads her books.
So on this conversation that you sort of initiated, are you a chapter a day reader or do the whole book in like one day kind of person? Do you like to space it out or just get it done?
Well, this is what I found interesting. So with my fictional books, whole book, gotta read it, gotta know how it ends. I'm so
Right.
invested in the characters. But if it's a non-fiction book, usually, either the person's alive or it's inspirational, then I'll read a chapter a day.
Yeah, okay. Suze, what about you? Are you a chapter a day or hold the book in one sitting kind of get it
Look,
done?
there are some books that really capture me and I just jump in and get it done. For example, I watched the movie of Hunger Games, the second one, and then
Yeah.
the third book I just consumed in one sitting
Yeah.
because I had to know how the story ended. But there are others that I just like to take sort of a bit at a time. My most common is probably closer to a chapter a day than to read the whole book in a sitting kind of person.
Yeah.
What about you?
I'm a read until I start to fall asleep and the book falls on my face.
Yeah,
Kinda.
right.
That's typically I tend to not be able to get through. I'm not a fast reader, but I'll go and I'll go if it's really got me. But then I can just something will happen. I'll fall asleep or it's have to go and help dinner, and then I get distracted, and then it could be weeks before I go back to it.
Yeah.
But it's get as much as I can with the energy that I have right now.
All right. Well, let's ask you this question. Are you a read a chapter a day or read a whole book in a day kind of person? Stella, what is it like for you when you read? Do you read the whole thing in a day or do you just take it a bit at a time?
I'm like you, Susie. I'm a chapter a day unless I get right to the end and it's gripping, then I got to finish it. Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to know.
And if there's other things that you need to do at that point, but it's got you captivated, does everything else get told to shut up and you have to finish this book?
No.
No, okay.
Duties come before pleasure.
Duty before pleasure.
That's
Yeah.
very disciplined of you, Stella.
Yeah,
I'm not
that
quite
is
there in my life
So
yet.
not how I live my life. There's many ways. Example.
Let's ask Jennifer this one. Jennifer, what about you? When it comes to reading, do you like to just consume a book or do you do it a bit at a time?
It depends what I'm reading, but a lot of times I'll read the whole book over a couple of days. Sometimes at the moment, I'm reading a book and I'm reading probably several chapters a night when I go to bed, and I have to be careful because otherwise it does make me fall asleep, like Luke. But I don't know. It's almost like the more I practice reading at night before I go when I'm in bed, the longer I can actually stay awake. So
Yeah.
Have you ever been reading a book in bed, started to fall asleep, and realized you started to fall asleep because you dropped the book and it hit you in the face?
yes,
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Which is much like if it's the corner of the book that hits you, that can really
Oh, that would really
that
hurt.
can really hurt if it's a
Yeah.
big book.
Oh, thank you, Jennifer. We've got a few thoughts on this one. Joe says, I love reading. I read most nights until I start falling
Yeah.
asleep. In fact, she says, I cooked dinner at 9 p.m. last night because I just had to finish the book that I was reading.
There we go. That's duties being put off for the pleasure.
It certainly is. Jess says, if it's a good book and I have the time, I'll read it in a day. Otherwise, it's a chapter or 2 or 3 or 4 or more in a day.
Well, Caroline is what I was talking about with Jennifer. I love reading. I read till the book falls on my face and then I sleep.
Then it's time.
Mostly because she's dealing with concussion after that point.
Probably time to fall asleep after that. Hugh, what about you? When it comes to reading, are you a book in a day or do you go a chapter is all you try and get through at a time?
As a teenager, I devoured books. And then when I started working and had to read for work, I kind of lost it. And, Luke, you said sometimes the book hits my face and I fall asleep. I would say typically I fall asleep and the book hits my face. So I'm trying to rediscover reading and enjoying it. But a chapter a day would be more than I cope with most of the time at the moment.
Yeah, it's interesting because we've become so accustomed to article size reading in the modern internet world that that mental space it's different. And I struggle to adapt sometimes.
It has to be a choice, a really deliberate choice to get into it. Thanks for your thoughts, Hugh. We are so grateful to be able to bring the Luke and Susie show to you, and it's all thanks to some incredible sponsors who get behind it, including Blue Water Campers, who encourage us to get out and explore and experience this incredible country of Australia.
Oh, there's so much to see. You can rediscover our great country, all of its beautiful secrets and the majestic surprises, and it's, a lot of them are just in our own backyard. Head off-road with the Blue Water Camper trailer from program sponsor Blue Water Campers.
It's so much to look at. There's a lot in the range, so you can check it all out online and have a chat to the team about what the options are that are available for you and your family. Visit bluewatercampers.com.au.
And this is one of the campers that we took out for a test drive on a long weekend, and it was just
good.
amazing.
It
Just
was good.
incredible. Suze, we're about to get into our Would You Rather
Yes,
for
we
today, where we are going to be exploring about, just conversations that might happen. Some we're involved with, and some maybe we're not.
Pick a side, place your vote.
Our Would You Rather question today, Luke, is kind of about how much of a sticky beak you are, I guess. Would you rather be able to take back anything you say or hear any conversation that is about you?
Well, see, I don't know that this is so much of a sticky beak, but I mean, nobody really likes other people necessarily talking bad things about you, and we always like to hear if someone was saying something nice about us. So I can understand why we might want to desire this, but I think for me it's a very clear-cut answer. I want to be able to take back some of the stupid things that I say.
Right.
As much as if someone's talking about me and they're saying something nice, well, good, that's great. I don't necessarily need to know that. If I hear of someone saying bad things about me, sometimes it can just get caught in a loop in my head, and I don't need to know that.
Yeah.
If it's their issue, or if it's something I can learn from, then I'd rather just deal with it in another way. But I often say stupid things that I want back. Half of them are on the show. So wouldn't that be great, Sue?
Yes.
To be able to take back some of those stupid times. What about you?
Okay. My honest answer, I would take back anything I say. Now, knowing that I have the skill of being able to take back anything I say, the things that I don't say, I would say.
You'd go to
the
town.
things that I hold back from saying all the time.
Yes, you'd
sometimes
be able to just say it,
knowing
see
that I
how
could
it
take it
works,
back.
see how it's taken, and if you
Yeah.
go, regret, take it back.
Oh, probably I wouldn't even wait because I know that it's silly before it comes out of my mouth. So
Right.
I would say it just to get it out, and then I would
right.
take it back again.
Have you ever done on an email? You can send an email, and then for a few seconds, it's up there where you can undo it. Where you've had immediate regret of sending it, and then you click the undo to stop it and to be able to.
I've never actually hit the undo on it, but I know the feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did it
Okay.
on a text message I sent to the wrong person one time. I wish there was an undo button on.
All right. This is an interesting one to explore. Would you rather be able to take back anything you say or hear any conversation that's about you? Be able to eavesdrop on anybody who's talking about you in any way. We want to explore this and get your thoughts. So let's go with Hugh to start with. Hugh, which one would you rather? Be able to take back anything you say or be able to hear any conversation that's about you?
Well, of course, I'd love to hear the complimentary conversations about me, but actually really taking back things that I say. That moment when you've said something and the person walks in the room, or you said something with a lack of tact or love, and you go, "Oh man, what a wally I am." It's taking things back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know that feeling all too well. Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yes, I call that one of the 7 days of the week.
All right, Jennifer, what about you? Would you rather be able to take back anything you say or hear any conversation about you? Oh,
We
we've just
got you on mute
muted.
there. Oh, no, the sound is just not working.
Oh.
We can't hear you there. It's not on mute, but no sound from Jennifer. We might try and come back.
We'll try and come back, Jennifer.
Well, let's go with Stella. Stella, would you rather be able to take back anything you say or be able to hear any conversation that's about you?
Definitely take back anything I say. I should have
Yeah.
said that Luke looks like Hugh Jackman anyway.
Right, you did say that I'm not what you
Yes.
expected. That you expected me to be handsome. You wish you could take it back now because we've made a whole big deal of it on our show. Yeah. Hugh Jackman. Did you hear that, Suze?
Yes.
Stella says I look like Hugh Jackman.
And I think you accept
Yeah,
that.
I will. I'll believe anything if it makes me feel good.
All right, some thoughts online. Luke, Caroline says, I have foot in mouth, so definitely take things back. I don't want to know if people talk about me.
Yeah.
I get that.
David is really struggling,
Mm.
mostly because I think he's found himself agreeing with me, which he doesn't feel comfortable with. And he says he would take everything back, but hearing if other people have anything to say, well, sticks and stones will break my bones, but names will never hurt me, which is something we say to convince ourselves, like we know
It
that
does
they do hurt, which is why we don't
does.
need to hear it. We don't need
Yeah.
to carry somebody else's junk
Mm.
about what they think about us.
Yeah. Jess says, I would rather take back what I say. Tired, hungry, and driving me are not a good person to be talking. Can I just mute myself sometimes?
If only we had the Zoom meeting protocol in everyday life conversation.
Yeah, let's come back and see if Jennifer's sound's working now. Have we got you there, Jennifer? Oh, we can't. I'm sorry.
No audio's
I could
coming
lip
through.
read you, but I couldn't actually hear you.
This is a new Luke and Susie bad lip reading segment.
Yeah. Oh, that's unfortunate. I'm so sorry, Jennifer. We can't hear you.
We might need to unplug a mic and plug it back in again. But we are, Sue's, very soon going to get to a couple of very important little conversations to wrap things up for the day. But just a reminder about all the sponsors that make it possible for the Luke and Susie show to happen. We're going to we appreciate all the different sponsors involved. That's how this keeps happening on a regular basis. So, Suze, if there's an opportunity, click on the links and go to the website and be able to do that. We'd love to also have you get in touch with us. Subscribe to click on the like on the page or subscribe to the YouTube channel and stay in touch.
Absolutely. Now, every week on the show, we like to take some time to just get our head in the space of being grateful. We call it Thankful Friday, and it is a bit of a butchering of the English language, for which I apologise, but Luke doesn't.
No apology here. Love it.
But we just think it's so healthy for us. We've spoken to so many experts who talk about the value to us mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and even physically to having an attitude that is full of gratitude. And so that's why we take the time every week, last thing on a Friday, to say, what is it that you're thankful for? But we're going to ask it now. What is it in your world that you are actually thankful for at the moment? He's a seasoned veteran in the art of things that he's thankful for. Hugh, what are you thankful for?
I'm thankful that when I babysat with my wife, our 2 and 4-year-old grandchildren on Sunday, they went to sleep and they kind of stayed asleep till their parents came home. So I was very thankful for that. And then on the Monday, we all went to the beach together and just had the best day. So very thankful for all of that.
That's
they kind
wonderful.
of stayed asleep. I love the benchmark that we have for what we consider a win. That's good. It's
kind
good.
of staying asleep. That's brilliant. Jennifer, have we got you there now?
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes, we can hear you now. Oh, we're talking about things in the world that we're thankful for.
Yeah, that I could log out and come back in and you could hear me.
We got you. So other than now we can hear you, Jennifer, what are you thankful for?
I'm thankful for the fact I'm actually down in Gippsland. I'm at my mum's house. I'm caring for her. Since April, she's had multiple heart attacks, stroke, blood clots in her leg. I mean, we've been in and out of hospital. We almost got to a point where we're having our weekly trip to emergency. So I've been down here for out of 17 weeks. I've been down here for 14. I was here for 7, went home for 3, and I've been back. What I'm thankful for after all that is that actually Mum looks like she's she's getting better. She's improving. So,
great.
She's so she may be watching this on Facebook because she's in the lounge room. So hi, Mum.
Hi.
Shout out to Jennifer's mum.
A couple of thoughts online here, Luke. We've got Naomi, who's thankful that her NDIS got approved.
Yes.
It's such a process to go through. So we're thankful with you for that, Naomi. That's brilliant, brilliant news. Caroline's thankful that even though we're in lockdown and it's being extended again, we are all happy and healthy.
Well done on that attitude. That is what thankfulness is all about. Suze, before we wrap things up, we need to actually invite Sammy, our producer.
Yeah.
Sammy, we discovered some new things about you that we're going to talk about in coming weeks. But one of the interesting things that you said to me, as you raised as a possible conversation on the show, about people who forget to clean the cleaning things. And I wanted to explore this a little bit further because you went, I find my housemates always forget to clean the cleaners. Sammy, can you give us an explanation of what you mean?
Well, we have so many amazing things in our house that help us clean. You've got the vacuum cleaner,
Yeah.
the dishwasher, the washing machine. And I found that, my housemates are great in cleaning the areas, but then they forget that, the washing machine has a filter. You got to empty out the vacuum cleaner so
Yeah.
it doesn't explode. Just the little things that,
So it doesn't explode. You being a bit dramatic there, Sammy? Or
Oh, I don't know. The things I had to clean out of it.
okay, Sammy went on for quite a bit about all the different cleaning instruments that need to be cleaned. Susie,
Mm.
I mean, I know occasionally we get to it, but on a general rule, do you clean the cleaners?
Yeah, the vacuum cleaner we have to because it stops working if the
Right.
bag gets full because we have a
Right.
bag one, not a bagless.
Right?
So yes to the vacuum cleaner. Yes to the dryer filter almost every time I clean that out. The washing machine is kind of on when it really needs it. And the dishwasher is currently filthy. The filter is filthy.
Right.
So I need to do that. Yeah.
So your answer is yes.
Ish.
My answer is maybe that's why I don't even think about it because everybody else cleans my cleaners. I didn't think this was going to be a significant thing. Stella, do you clean the cleaners? Is this a regular thing on your cleaning routine?
Yeah, I'm with Susie. I clean the filter, the bag from the vacuum cleaner. Yep.
Right.
I'm with
okay,
that.
I'm letting everybody down here. Do you clean the cleaners?
Look, this is a gift I've discovered later in life. If I go to a young person's house and I do some housework, I clean their vacuum cleaner filter because they don't realize what a remarkable difference it makes. So, yeah, sign me up.
Yeah. You clean the cleaners.
Jennifer, do you clean the cleaners?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Even the dishwasher and the washing machine, vacuum cleaner, and the air dryer, the dryer, the end of the hair dryer because when that sucks in, it can block up the influx, whatever air intake. So yeah,
Not being dramatic, Luke. Bad things happen if you don't clean the cleaners.
Bad things happen.
This is a conversation I regret starting. So go back to our would you rather. I'd rather take back this whole conversation because now it's just been highlighted to me how little cleaning I do.
You can do the dishwasher filter. There you go.
Oh, thanks, honey. Appreciate it. Consider it done. Well, that's a wrap for us today in our Luke and Susie Discourse Live, and we appreciate everyone who's been involved. And don't forget to actually be a part of the program. We actually we've got a hangout that's happening tonight in the Luke and Susie community group. We've got a Zoom meeting that happens and on a regular basis where we have a little bit of a chat, but then we hang out and find out what's going on in life and support each other and back each other, especially around the country when there's a lot of lockdown going on and people could just do with a community of people to support each other. So you can get to the Luke and Susie community on Facebook to be able to be a part of that, and make sure you like and subscribe to everything on Facebook and on YouTube. It's been great to be able to have you as a part of the show today.
Thanks for hanging out. We'll catch you next time.
It's Luke and Susie signing out saying bye for now.
Bye.